Welcome to the English 339 lecture on Fiction and the Road Narrative in 3 parts. Part 3. Road narratives in the American tradition harken back to American Romanticism, a period of American literature occurring in the middle of the 19th century, and including writers such as Ralph Waldo Emerson, Henry David Thoreau, and Walt Whitman. These writers espoused transcendentalism. This philosophy is entwined with the rhetoric of the American dream. Writes Chris Lackey, this heady brand of American idealistic philosophy taught independence of mind, skepticism toward convention, the value of rural retreat in the recovery of neglected mental forms, the reciprocity of mind and matter, the richness of folkways and folk speech, and the unfettered play of imagination upon the natural world. The American Romantics believed particularly in the power of the individual imagination and of nature as a means of recovering that power in the wake of corrupted, industrialized urban life. This belief in nature as a pure and healing force extends back to classical Greek literature and comes to America through British pastoral poetry from the Renaissance, as well as the British Romantic tradition from the turn of the 19th century. Emerson in Self-Reliance writes, "Trust thyself, every heart vibrates to that iron string. And whoso would be a man must be a nonconformist. He who would gather immortal palms must not be hindered by the name of goodness, but must explore if it be goodness. Nothing is at last sacred but the integrity of your own mind." These quotes, indicating the power of the individual, make the individual mind the ultimate sacred space. Notice the connection with American individualism and commitment to self-expression. Trust in oneself also resonates through Whitman's Song of the Open Road from Leaves of Grass. "Afoot and light-hearted I take to the open road, healthy, free, the world before me, the long brown path before me leading wherever I choose. Henceforth I ask not good fortune, I myself am good fortune. Henceforth I whimper no more, postpone no more, need nothing. Strong and content I travel the open road." Here the persona leaves behind social and personal burdens, turning to the road as freedom and optimism where he has individual control over his future and needs only himself to guarantee his own happiness. Again, this resonates with the idea that achieving the American dream requires only individual effort. The healthiness of the natural world also appears in Emerson's nature. "But if a man would be alone, let him look at the stars. The rays that come from those heavenly worlds will separate between him and vulgar things. One might think the atmosphere was made transparent with this design, to give man in the heavenly bodies the perpetual presence of the sublime." In the romantic vision of nature, nature connects man with the divine and reminds him of his sacred self, transcending the sinful human world and made wise by unity with all of creation. In Walden, Thoreau envisioned nature as a means of reducing the industrial complexity and conformity of the world down to the simplicity of life. "I went into the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life, and see if I could not learn what it had to teach, and not, when I came to die, discover that I had not lived. I wanted to live deep and suck out all the marrow of life." In this last idea, sucking out all the marrow of life, an individual's right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness seems apparent. We have a right to live life to the fullest, and if our home life does not deliver that, we have a right to move someplace else. American Romantic philosophy grounds American road narratives. However, road narratives also challenge the idealism of transcendental philosophy, sometimes indicating that individuals can't operate alone or don't find rejuvenation in nature, that the road leads nowhere. So to wrap up, what I'd like to do is list some motivations for taking to the road. Search for national identity, agency or control over one's life, pilgrimage or quest, exploration of or reunification with the wild and or pastoral landscape, search for meaning, self-discovery and growth, which for a young person would be a Bildungsroman or a story of growth, escape from social norms, socially defined identity, meaninglessness, and/or the law, chase of others, race against others, forced relocation, and vacation. And again, as part of concluding, I'd like to review a few key terms that I think will be useful to our discussion of road narratives. Genre is a category of text that shares certain features and responds in similar ways to issues of audience, context, and purpose. As I hope you've seen, the road narrative is its own genre. Fiction is an imaginative text, and nonfiction is a factual text. Road narratives occur in both forms, but we'll be focusing primarily on the fictional. And I also think that the terms romance, picaresque, and plot are particularly useful in thinking about the text that we'll be looking at. A romance is an episodic fiction that has no plot, just simply adventure after adventure after adventure. A picaresque is a romance featuring a rogue or comic hero. And a plot is a character facing conflict and making a climactic choice, resulting in a resolution of the conflict. I hope this lecture has been useful, and I look forward to discussing it with you.